So there was a question about how you would align this step on the staircase with the top of the cylinder here in Fusion, and I wanted to take a second to answer that. So I created A as a component is the staircase, and B as the component is the cylinder here. So if I come over and I look at my browser tree, A has got this little anchor on it. That means it's anchored. I can't move it. If I hit M to move it right now, and I try to move it, I get this error message that says it can't move because it's grounded to the parent. So I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to right click on A, and I'm going to unground from parent. So now I can move this around now that it's ungrounded. Okay. Now, in your requirements too, you also said you wanted B not to move. So if I right click on B, I can go to ground to parent, and now it won't move. And now, just to make this a little clearer, let me highlight A here, object A. And I want to move him. So move copy, link, and let's just move him over a little bit so this will be easier to see. Where I can grab it. Perfect. All right, so he's moved over. Now, there are a bunch of different ways you can do this, but there's a new feature in Fusion was created last year called Constraints, which is designed for this, and it works really well. So I'm going back up here to the top level. Okay, then I've got this little flag looking thing, which is constraint components. Let's click on that. It asks me to pick some geometry that I care about. So I'm going to pick this middle step. I'm going to pick the top of this, and then this is an align constraint. So that means this is always going to be aligned on this face. So if I hit OK here, and then go back to M for move, and try to move this now, I can still move it back and forth. I can't move it up and down, and I can move it left or right. Okay. If I want to constrain this in other ways, like I just want it to the left of the cylinder, I can go back to the constraint, which is in the browser tree here under relationships, constraints, edit constraint. Okay. And now if I hit the plus sign, I'm going to add another constraint between this face and the circle here. And I get to pick what kind of, and I'm going to make that a tangent constraint. And so now it's glued to the side of the cylinder. If I hit M to move, I can still move it back and forth, but I can't move it left and right or up and down. I think I can still, nope, I can't twist it either. Can I twist it in the other direction? Let's see. Nope, can't twist it in the other direction either. Neat. So those are the constraints. The last constraint would be if I come back, I wanted to edit again. If I wanted to fix its position back and forth, this is a little fuzzy, but I can say take this front face here and make it, and this create a, and it wants to align it, which will put it in the middle, or I can put it centered, which I think throws an error if I try centered. But if I make it tangent, then it'll scoot it back. Those are the options you have there. And then you can throw in an offset if you want to offset from distance. So 10 millimeters off center is possible. I'll go ahead and leave this last constraint unset. Okay, so there's that. So an example of using this is, this is a tilt-in window clip for some windows. If I go to my section analysis here, looking at the short view, like I want this, where's my sketch? That's a sketch of the top. So housing upper, sketches, great. So I want this slider to be constrained in the middle of the upper housing. And so I have a center constraint between the slider, which is this piece, and the upper and lower housing. And those constraints are all here in these relationships. You can see the two different constraints I have. This one is between the slider and the, I don't know why it says multiple components there. It should be the lower face, the lower entry, and then the other one is for the upper housing. That's that. And then those work together. If I turn off my section analysis, those work together with the joints, where I can move my little widget back and forth here. And this is the only degree of freedom in the assembly. So super neat stuff. Right, good luck.